let them eat cake is the famous phrase. Saying, I've already got my tongue between my teeth, or my teeth between my tongue, or whatever. But I think it was Marie Antoinette, and look what happened to her. But, Sarah, you were talking to our colleague, Melissa, in New York, and somehow cake got into the conversation, and she sent you a whole range of cakes to paint. Is that right?
I think not to paint necessarily, but just like to say these are the sort of things you can paint if you were in America. I think that's the impression I got. So, because there's quite a lot of cakes inside the cabinet.
Right.
So if I was to paint a cake, I would have to have a very close-up
Of the cake.
Yeah, essentially, and then zoom in on it.
Why don't we fool her? Why don't we actually pick a cake and then say, go out and get a close-up of this?
I think we could do.
Or our original plan, we go to New York.
I think we take
and we do it.
B.
Yes, right. I
think
think the plan B is much better than plan A.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, just as a serious, as if we are ever serious on this program, as a serious moment is. She sent you that because they're representative of New York, and we have talked about this. And also, I told you that the disappearing hot dog, unfortunately.
That's right. Yes.
But if you tomorrow were whisked off to New York, what would you look for to paint?
Oh, there's lots of all the yellow taxis. Amazing.
Right,
something
yeah.
iconic. It has to be something that I really think is iconic. So we could go for the hot dog.
Right.
On its own, with all the nice relish and the ketchup oozing around it with the onions, and we could do a nice bagel, perhaps filled up with pastrami ham.
Bagels
very
New Yorkish.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, I was thinking, the don't walk signs, with a little person where they've got the dots of the person, something like that. Close up of all the nostalgic New York. That's what it would be, really American New York, something along those lines.
Now, supposing I said to you, we'll keep you there for 3 or 4 weeks, which of those would you choose so that you could do a multiple painting of various icons?
Well, what I would do, because my paintings take a while to paint anyway, but I'd be snapping away with the camera. I'd be doing lots of investigating, lots of snapping, because I went to New York back in 2006, and the amount of photographs I had were just, phenomenal. But I think I'd like to have a fresh approach and do it again.
Right.
But when I got home, I did lots of sky, all the skyscrapers in the air. And what I did when I was at the, the Empire State Building, they actually had a silhouette, the shadow of the Empire State Building within the view of the whole skyscrapers.
Wow.
I had to bring the painting along one day, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
In
fact, I think you should bring some of your work along. With Max, I thought he was going to insert them and you would sort of send stuff to him, but if in fact it's a question of bringing it out on the program, bring it out on the program.
Yeah. If I've got the artwork live on, as a bit of artwork, I'll certainly bring it along. But I can send some emails over to Max.
Now, I think the banana split was invented in the United States. What's happening to my banana split?
Still hanging there pretty in the gallery.
Oh.
Still hanging there.
You still got it.
Hanging on in there, yeah. Anyone like banana splits? I've got 5.
Right. Now, okay, to the gallery. Is hopefully we'll get you to New York and you can do these things, which will be iconic. But back to your own gallery. So this past week, since we talked last week, what have you been doing, and have you been to the gallery, and what's in the gallery, and how popular is the gallery? Are people coming? And all those questions that everybody wants to know the answer to.
Okay, well, I did put my head in the gallery last weekend, and it's all just very still. Not so much punters, but they are coming in, looking, and they are making a few sales, but it's all across the board. It's not just one particular artist as such. But I did, the other thing I was going to say, when I went in there, there's a change of people managing it. Not the owners are still there. So we just got a new lady who's running it. And she seems very nice. We had a nice little conversation and so on, so that went really well.
Yeah, good.
And I've been working on my bubble gum.
Aha!
Bubble gum.
Now, remind people about the bubble gum.
Okay, well,
because we had a bit of fun with it last week.
That's right, the big bubble I blew. Yes, that's right. So it's actually come to light now that I've actually done the drawing, so Matt can insert that and see the bubble gum. So that's good fun painting. It's almost finished actually, so I started it last Monday, and it's coming on lovely.
Oh, good. Is that what you've been doing all week?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, definitely. It's very iconic, and
Yeah.
it's got the right colours. They've been going, that bubblegum make, Anglo, have been going on since I think it was 1830.
Really?
Yeah, been going on for like a
Wow.
very long time.
That's a long time, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
I keep on taking a sip of this wine and holding it towards you in the hope that you're going to say, oh, well, I think I'll paint some wine, Keith. But I haven't had one little response. Not one little response.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm letting you enjoy and indulge your wine on a hot summer's day. Well, September's day.
Now, I wonder if perhaps you would explain to people what a gallery is. Now, you may say, well, everybody knows, but in fact, everybody doesn't know. Is the term gallery gives them an impression of a great big building in a museum in which you see pictures hanging. But in fact, the gallery that you actually use to display your work and so on is a quite different sort of thing. Explain, if you would, just how these galleries work.
Well, basically, the gallery where Art5 is and where my work is displayed, they have a book of about 30 artists on there. And as you walk in, they've got 2 floors. So you've got your ground floor, then you've got your stair up to your first floor. And it's just like a mixture of all the artists' work. And it's all different styles, different colours. A lot of the work is quite vibrant, I find. Quite a lot of it's floral. And I think a big thing for artists is floral. It seems to be the actual, the big fashionable mark of an artist. There's lots of floral things.
Right.
So it's nice to see other different styles there as well. So, for instance, you've got David Bowie hanging on the wall. He's broken up records and they put the portrait together. Then you see someone doing a street scene of Brighton, but they've done it in a really abstract, surreal way. How they've done the compositions and things like that. So and then you've got my ice creams or my vintage things or icons that I paint. Like Galloping Gary, the old-fashioned carousel horse. Right. So that's still hanging there, nice and wide, for £1,200 or so. So if anyone loves the old fairground ride and wants to reminisce about the fairgrounds, then that's there, hanging there proudly, as well as the ice creams.
Okay, now let's take one step back. If I was walking along the street, how would I know that there was a gallery there that would welcome me to come in and take a look?
Well, there's a nice billboard, like an A-board, sitting outside.
Right.
Yeah, A-board, not a billboard. So it's just sitting in the street, and then what you just walk past the window, great big window, which displays a whole array of paintings. Paintings and ceramic. There's a few ceramicists there, and that would capture your eye, and therefore you would want to walk in. And it invites you. It really does. It's vibrant, it's lively, It's bustling. That's what art's all about. Art is about personality. It's what's down to each individual person. Which art they like. Art is for everybody. And whatever they want to hang on the wall, that's what they can do. They can pop in the gallery, take a look on both floors, and venture into it.
When I go in, is there somebody there who would say hello, etc., etc.?
Absolutely.
Right.
What they would do, they won't pounce on you. So you walk in, take a nice slow look at that, and then the lady would just say, "Is there anything that I can help you with at all?" So excellent service, excellent customer service. They're always there, very, very approachable. Any questions you've got, they're there to answer them.
Right. So actually, it's a bit like a shop where I'm not going to be forced to buy unless I want to.
Not at all. But however, if they've got the enthusiasm, of course they're going to show the enthusiasm, and therefore they will naturally tell you the lovely benefits of having this particular artwork. But there's no peer pressure. There's absolutely none at all.
Yeah.
There's times where I've had them contact me and says, "Oh, we've got a lead for you," which means I might have a sale, and it doesn't come out of the bag. That's the way of art, I suppose, of lots of businesses until you make that commitment.
Yeah. I would walk in and I would look around. Is there anybody to sort of say, if you wish to look at this sort of painting, you come this way or you go that way? I mean, are they selective or are they just lovely to see you in our gallery. Here it is. Have a
we
poke
represent
around.
everybody, so I don't think there's any favouritism as such. It's a professional team.
Right.
So when you walk in and you show any emphasis of interest to whichever style or artist you choose to look at, they'll introduce you with more of their work, what they've got available in the gallery, because all the work is spread out.
Right.
It's not in the same it's not pigeonholed as such. So you've got different areas. So one piece of my work will be here, another piece will be upstairs, another bit will be in the window. So it's all spread out.
Spread it around.
They spread it around,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
because I think it's nice to give it that balance, you know.
Yeah.
So literally they'll show the artist's work, or they show someone who's got similar work perhaps, and then it's not about being biased. I don't think. I think it's down to the customer. The customer's going to walk in, and it's just knowing those buyers what they're after,
Right.
basically. Yeah.
Now, as I was eating my banana split and thinking about you, I remember you saying you were lucky to have space in a gallery. Are these much sought after by artists?
Oh, I was very shocked. I remember one of my friends, Nita, she got interviewed by ITV, and they said, the journalist who did the interviews actually said that only 10% of women getting their work into an art gallery, which I was completely shocked about. Because in our gallery, there's quite a high number of women, as well as males as well. So I was actually really shocked to find that out.
Right.
Really shocked.
Yeah.
So I think, my gosh, I need to give myself a pat on the back,
Yeah.
really, because it's my passion. It's been my passion all my life, and to get into the gallery that I've always wanted to get into, that is an achievement, and I'm so proud of that.
But is it competitive to get in?
I can imagine so, yeah, because I mean there are people. When we were doing an art show, I remember a lovely young lass walking in, and she said, "Oh, do you work here?" And I said, "Well, I don't, but because I was having an exhibition." She said, "Oh, really want to put my work in here? Is there any chance?" So I gave her card and passed it on to the lady for the owners to review the work, because there's a panel of them that look at the work, and then they get back to you. I mean, I didn't get in there straight away. I did actually have another portfolio of work. But when I looked back and submitted that work, I thought maybe that wasn't quite the right feel for that gallery, you know?
Yeah.
And then I just got into this other style and slowly worked at it and thought, I think it was about a year later, I just got into it and thought, okay, I'm going to just give this another run for its money. And lo and behold, 2 days later, they said, we want to, get you on board, sort of thing.
Right.
I was like, wow!
Yeah.
I was just over the moon.
But let me go back to the wow, because is it much sought after to get into a gallery, or is it only much sought after to get into the gallery you want?
Well, I think because I was kind of lucky in that way, because I wanted to I just visualised my stuff being in there, and the fact I actually got my work in there was a bonus. Yeah. It was like double bubble, It was like, wow. Not only have I just got into a gallery, which is mighty hard, but I actually got into the one I wanted to, so it was really amazing. Yeah. And actually, I told you I was writing off to some other galleries a few weeks back. Well, I did get some lovely response. They said, well, your work is lovely, but we're just not taking the artists at the moment. So maybe the times are a little bit still, with all the stuff going on in the world at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
The cost
it's
of
working against you. Yeah.
And overheads. So I am finding that. I'm getting the compliments, which is fantastic, but I just don't think the actual recruiting or the representation aspect of things they're looking for at the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving up.
No. Oh, no. God forbid. My Sarah will not give up. But I think that a lot of younger people particularly would have the impression that all I've got to do is I've got to paint some stuff, and I go down and I see this work hanging on the wall there, and all I've got to do is to say to them, hello, here I am, will you please put this on the wall? Not that way at all.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think if they submit something, it's just down to choice. Whoever, like the owners, they would decide, well, irrespective of age, creed or whatever, it's just what they would think is a sellable asset, I guess, to help them perform the gallery. I mean, they're a great team. We're a lovely, lovely team. Yeah. And, fantastic to work with.
You're actually slightly avoiding what I'm saying to you. What I'm really getting at is it is not easy to get into a gallery, and that this is a sense of achievement on your part that you're in a gallery, and actually a testament to your work.
Absolutely, no, I'm really proud. Any advice I would give to somebody is always find the why you're doing your kind of work. What's pulling you to do that style? Find your audience. That's the most important thing. And that's how I knew that gallery was sort of suitable for myself, because I knew what the audience probably was and what they're looking for. So whatever you do before you apply, this is any advice to anybody, whatever you do, just look to see, do the research, find the sort of work the gallery would accept before you apply for a gallery. Because you're going to get knocked back if if you're not going to the right galleries, then the worst thing is you're going to get a no. Yeah. So just be mindful of that research. Just have a good look round, and if anybody wants advice, they can always come and give me a shout. Oh,
absolutely. There you are. There's an invitation. But galleries aren't generally catch-alls then. They don't just have a whole range of things. They tend to specialise.
It's a funny one, that, actually, because if you look at the gallery that I'm in, for an example, all the work's quite vibrant, I find. There's kind of like a vibrant theme going on there, so it's looking for that theme. That's what you've got to look out for, is that theme. So I thought to myself, there's a bit of seasidey stuff in there. Ooh, isolates. When I had the star, ironically, I thought, actually, that would go in that gallery. So when I rang up the lady who was running at the time, Melissa, I said to her, I've got a new style. And she said, have you? What are you doing at the moment? I said, I'm doing ice creams. Not just, oh, wow, I'd love to see those. Straight away. She knew there was a target for them. Right. So lo and behold, I sent the submission over. And then 2 days after that.
That's the one that got you in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's terrific. Okay, I think probably from what you've told us now, that the average person would have a better understanding of what the gallery is all about.
Absolutely. I think you just need to know where your work's targeted. And then once you know who your audience are, then go for it. Right. Don't give up, just go for it.
Now you talk about your audience as specifics, but those people who would be generalists, in other words, I like art, but I don't quite know what I want. How would they know what the theme of a gallery was? As you say, there are hundreds of galleries. How would they know, I need to go to that half dozen because they would reflect the sort of thing that I would buy or would want?
Are you talking about a customer's point of view or someone wanting to be a customer? Well, I think what draws you in a gallery is what's in your window. It's very important to have it in your window, because that's your first when you talk to somebody, the first 30 seconds of talking to that individual is very important. So you've got to captivate them, you've got to call them in, lure them in. So as long as that window display is looking absolutely 100% gorgeous, say for instance, someone's going to look at that display and think, I like this one, I like that. Then they're going to go in. It's going to be like a magnet pulling you in. Right. So that's, to me, if I had a gallery, my own gallery for instance, that's the thing. The crucial thing is presentation, which art you've got in there, what subject theme. If I had a gallery, I'd have it all mixed. And it's just down to choice. Art, at the end of the day, is choice. You're going to get 50 people liking 50 different things, or you might get 10 people loving that one style, and then nobody else liking another style. And I've got a bee just about to say that to
me. I think he's buggered off now.
He's buzzied off. Yes. So I think as long as, at the end of the day, it's just there for everybody.
Right. Now, let's aim towards sort of slowly easing out of this conversation, because what I do like to know is what you've been doing for the week past. Now, we touched on this at the start of the chat, but give us a little bit more insight into what you've actually been doing, because some of your stuff is online as well.
It is online, yes. It's the art shop. The gallery is not only just a building in Brighton, it's actually got its online website account. It's selling online. This week I've been really just focused on the bubblegum. I've been sort of thinking about workshops to... I didn't do the lesson last Friday, but that's still going. The lessons are still going every week with the person I'm teaching at the moment. So that's going nicely. And the bubblegum is just coming on leaps and bounds, because I've been really focusing on the bubblegum. And that's pretty much what I've been working on, art-wise.
Right. And the coming week?
The coming week is to finish the bubblegum. I should find out my result on the application I made for the Artist and Market, Artist and Craft Makers exhibition, which is not an exhibition, it's a stall, sorry. So I'm finding out on the 15th this month to find whether I have been successful or not.
Right, and if you've been successful, that's more work.
It is. I'm going to get my... paws out and busy getting there, which I'll be pleased about. It's great to be busy, better than to be bored, right? So.
Well, I'm going to actually get my mandibles, or whatever they call it, ready for the bubble gum. I'm going to abandon a little bit the banana split just to concentrate because you're working very hard on the bubble gum.
I certainly am.
But just before we go, you did mention a machine to do with the bubble gum. Remind us about that.
Oh yeah, that's right. The glorious gobstoppers.
That's right.
Yes. The machine stands about this tall. It's a typical 1950s. You know where you put the 2 penny, what it would be like a coin, and you turn it round, so whether it be a dime or a penny, or whichever coin country you're in, you turn it round, and out comes about 4 or 5 gobstoppers. And that was a lovely painting. I have to say that did sell quite quickly, that one. So I'm thinking. I think towards Christmas time, I think we could be seeing another form of glorious gobstopper, maybe another mechanism perhaps, and something which is vintage, because that's the theme I go for, childhood memories and vintage.
Well, now I know that I'm not chewing in vain.
I mean, I did the Love Heart Sweets. You remember the Love Heart Sweets? And they used to have little words and sentences on them, didn't they?
Yes.
Like 2 words, love you or best mates or something
whatever,
like that.
yeah.
Well, I'd do that, and I had all the glitter around it, and I could just see that, coming back maybe a couple of those.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. We keep up to date. But as you said, you will start to bring in now some of your work. So that we can show it in conjunction with the programme.
Won't be for a little while yet until that bubblegum's finished. That's the next piece I'll bring in. But I mean, as Mac's going to kindly put it onto the show, which would be fantastic, so viewers can see the progress of it. It's nice to see the progress. And then when it is absolutely finished and sealed and done, I'll bring it in and show you guys.
Till the work is finished. Goodness gracious.
Takes time.
I'm going to have to wait for my gobstopper that long.
Your bubblegum. Yeah, you're going to have to wait to be unravelled and unwrapped.
Before we head off, do you want to just plug where you can find you on social media and where you can buy your art?
Yeah, sure.
I'm on Instagram. It's Sarah with an H. So Sarah_Ffitch_Heyes. I'm going to spell it all out to you because it's so crazy. My name, right?
I'll have it on screen.
It's all good. It's on screen, yeah? Excellent. So it's Sarah_Ffitch_Heyes. Or my website is www.sfhart.co.uk.
Sarah, a delight as always. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Keith.